Hello and welcome back to Skill Learn. In our today's video, we are going to continue our lesson 9. Okay, so I hope you have watched the first video under the lesson 9, and in that we talked about few of our topics like constituent in Excel formulas, right? So what are the constituent of an Excel formula? Then we talked about operators, that what are the different types of operators that we use, and then we discussed about order of precedence. Order of precedence. Okay, so this is what we have discussed in our last video. Now this is going to be the second video on lesson 9 of Excel formulas, and in this video we are going to talk about two topics. Okay, first is about entering formula. Okay, so in the first topic we are going to understand that how do you enter a formula in Microsoft Excel software, and second is about editing the formula. Okay, editing formulas. So this is what we are going to talk about, and this entire video I think we'll be able to wrap it in 10 to 15 minutes. I will try, but the longer the video goes, it would be better for you to understand, and later on you can ask me questions as well. Okay, so let's quickly jump on to the Microsoft Excel software. All right, let me erase things. Okay, it is taking little time to get erased. Just hold on for a second. Right. Okay. So tell me one thing. Okay. I'll enter few information here, which is 10. Okay. 10, 20, 30, and 40. Okay. Now, if I want to average, if I want, like, let's say if I want to have two things here. Okay. The first is about the average of these four cells. Okay, so what will be the average of this entire four data that we have entered, like 10, 20, 30, and 40? If we are going to average it out, what is going to be the answer? Second, I want what will be the sum of these. As this is very basic, you can just simply do, like, you can say that 10 plus 20, 30, 30 plus 30, 60, 60 plus 40, 100. So Rashid, the sum is 100, and the average is, it is going to be 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 divided by 4. So this is going to be the average, right? So the total will be 100 by 4. So the average is 25, right? So this is how you're going to answer me, right? But if you need to do the average or the sum using the Excel formulas, so how you are going to do that? Okay, so let us try to understand that using the Excel formulas. So how do you enter an Excel formula? So the very first way to enter an Excel formula, if you'll see, so in the Excel itself, we have a formula tab. Okay, at the top, we have a formula tab here. Let me highlight it for you as well. I know it's visible, but from the learning perspective, we want to go very slow. So we have a formula tab here. Okay, what we call it as? We call it as formula tab. Now this formula tab, we have a lot of different formulas which are available, right? We have like, if you'll just see, we have function library. Now under the function library, we have financial formula, logical formula, text formula, date formula, lookup, reference, mathematical and trigonometric formula, and then you have more functions as well. Okay, so we are going to talk about each and every type of formula in detail. Okay, so don't worry about it. We are going to understand that how you are going to use this type of formula in Excel. But today our focus is that how do you insert a formula, right? So at the very first, like in the formula tab at the top, you'll find like under the formula tab, you have a CTA, you can say, call to action button, which is insert function, right? So this is the insert function button in Excel, and you can use this to insert a formula. Okay, so if you are a beginner and you don't know how to insert Excel formulas, you can start with the insert function. Okay, so if I want to do an average of these four cells, and I want the average in this particular cell, so I'll click here on insert function. The moment I do, a dialog box opens up, okay, or a pop-up opens up, and this pop-up tells you like it is very I would say very helpful and user friendly. Okay, so let's say if you are a beginner in Excel and you really don't know how to insert a formula, or what are the different types of formula that are offered in Excel. Like there are a lot of formulas. I think more than 100 plus formulas are there in Excel, so you cannot remember all the formulas, right? But you can remember that what do you want to do. So in our case right now, we want to do an average of these information, right? So basically what we want to do is that we want to average out 10, 20, 30, and 40, right? So which formula do we need to use? We need to use the average formula, right? So this is what we need to use here. So simply what you can do, as we are a beginner, you can just type in the description. So this particular description box which you currently see here, just go to this description box, clear things up, okay, and type average. Okay, and the moment you click on go, all the average formulas will start getting displayed here. Okay, so can you see all the formulas in Excel which helps you to provide average is added here. Now you need to decide that what kind of average do you want to do, like whether you want to do you want to use the average formula, or you want to use the conditional average formula like average if. What exactly do you want to use? Okay, so you need to decide and select the formula that you want to use. Okay, so in our case, we want to average it out. We want to average the cells that we have, like 10, 20, 30, 40 and all, right? So in that particular case, what we'll do is that we will use the average formula, right? So we'll click on it. It is already selected. I'll hit OK. The moment you did, now another dialog box opens up and it says that can you please provide the arguments. Okay, and what do you mean by arguments? Arguments are the value. Sorry, I'm writing the wrong arguments. So what is arguments? Arguments are the values that you require, or the values for which you want to do the average, right? So values for which you want to do an average, right? So this is what we understand by arguments. Now in our case, our arguments, what is our argument? Like the work that we are currently doing, so we are trying to average these particular out, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, 10, 20, 30, and 40. So there are two ways to enter the argument. Okay, rather you simply type 10, then another box you type 20, then in another box you type 30, then in another box you type 40. Okay, so you need to enter more and more cells, and you can enter the value manually. But right now, as the number is less, we have only 5 or 6 cells, then we can do it, right? But if the number increases, like let's say if we have 500 rows or 5,000 rows and we need to average it out, do you think it would be feasible for us to enter the number like 10, 20, 30, 40? No, right? So in that particular case, we provide the cell reference, right? So we'll enter the cell reference which will be used here. Okay, so both the options I'll show you that how you can do it with the cell reference and how you can do it by entering the number as well. Okay, so let me erase this. Now let's enter. Okay, so first I'll add 10, then in the next I'll add 20, and can you see the moment I enter click on the next, the another box appears. Okay, so the next I'll add 40, and then I'll hit OK. The moment I do, can you see it got averaged out? So the average of 10, 20, 30, 40 is 25. Okay, so in this particular case, what we did is that we did it by entering the arguments, right? By entering the value. The second way like that we can do is by so I'll click on insert function, then I'll select the average formula and hit OK. Now in current case, what we are going to do is that we are going to select the reference itself. Okay, so we are going to click on this, which is cell E3, left click and drag it. Okay, the moment I did, can you see the reference got entered? That from E3 till E6, whatever numbers are there in the cell, right? So from E3 to E6, whatever number. Now check from E3. So this is E, which is the column name, and third is the, so this is E3, right? This particular cell is E3 and this is E6, right? So whatever number we have between E3 to E6, it is going to average it out, and it is showing you as well here as a preview that 10, 20, 30, 40 is the information that you have entered, right? So we are going to now use the cell reference in order to um, in order to do the average, right? So we have entered the cell reference. Now we are going to click on OK. And the moment we click on OK, can you see now the answer is same because but in this particular case, it was 10, 20, 30, 40. We entered manually. But in this particular case, we entered the cell references. Okay. Now you might, so this is one, right? You can just go to the formula tab, click on insert function, and you can enter, you can enter the value, right? The another, there is a shortcut as well, okay? And the shortcut that you can use in order to insert the formula is Shift F3. The moment you do that, the insert function dialog box will open up. You can just click sum or whatever formula you want to use, click on it. Okay. And then you can simply select the cell reference that you want to enter and hit OK. So now can you see the total also came here? So the shortcut to open up the cell reference, right? Or I'm sorry, the shortcut to open the insert formula dialog box is Shift plus F3. Okay, you can note it down anywhere, which will be helpful. And if you are using a laptop keyboard, in that particular case, it will be Shift plus Fn plus F3. Okay, so this is going to be the laptop. If you are on laptop, I think this will be, and this particular one will be helpful for you in desktop version. Okay, so this is how you are going to use the insert functions. Okay, now the third and last way to enter a formula, simple and very easy, and majority of the people uses it because everyone might agree with me because that the way that I taught you right now by clicking on insert formula, then entering the argument, entering the cell reference, that becomes very not very user friendly. That's easy for the beginners, it's very easy, but for the people who have been using the Excel from quite a long time, they might disagree with they might agree with me that that's not very easy, right? You need to use a better way in order to insert the formula. Okay, and what is that better way? Simple. Just one moment. Simple is that you click on any of the cell, start with equal to sign. Okay, the moment you start with equal to sign, it indicates to Excel that now you're going to enter a formula. Now let's say if you want to average out, or if you want to do, let's say, count. Okay, so type COU. The moment you do, or the moment you type C, all the formulas which starts with C gets listed down here, and you can choose from the formula. Okay, so in our case we want to use count, so COU. Now, can you see all the count related formulas are appearing here? Count, count A, count blank, count if, count ifs, whatever you want to use, right? Now, double click on the count and it will automatically get enabled. Okay, select the cell reference. That's one. Second, you can enter the value as well. Okay, so you can enter this, do one, select this value, then put comma, select this value, then put comma, then select this value, then put comma. Okay, so there could be multiple ways through which you can enter the arguments in a formula. Okay, so you can simply provide the reference as well. Okay, so what you can do is that in place of just writing using and entering E3, E4, E5, E6, you can just provide equal to count, and you can provide the entire cell reference, which is E3 colon E6. Okay, in this particular case also you will get the same answer that you are going to get in this particular case. Okay, so let me just erase it and show you how things are working here. All right, so let's jump back to Excel, hit enter, and can you see the count is 4. Same way, if we use equal to COU, and then we either you double click or hit tab. Okay, the moment you hit tab, the formula auto completes itself, and then you can just provide the reference range, close the small bracket and hit enter. Again, both the things, okay, both the options are giving you the same answer, but the way you are entering the information is different, right? So which is the most suitable one? Providing the cell reference one is the most suitable way to use the Excel formulas. Okay, so I hope you have understood that how do you enter the formula in Excel, how do you provide the cell reference, right? How do you provide the arguments and everything? Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to book one-to-one mentoring session with me or any of the Skill Learn mentor, and we'll be able to help you with all your doubts. Now, the next topic that we need to discuss is about editing the formula. Okay, so there is three ways to edit the formula. Okay, so the next topic is editing Excel formulas, right? So how do you edit? The first is that you select the cell. Okay, let me just go here. So whatever, whichever cell you want to edit, right? So you select that cell and then go to the formula bar and just click on it. The moment you do, it gets like the edit mode gets enabled and now you can edit the formula. This is one way. Second way is that you go to the cell and double click on it. The moment you do, it gets enabled, right? And the third shortcut is by pressing F2. Okay, so the moment you press F2, like it gets into the edit mode. Okay, so the three options through which you can edit the Excel formulas. One is formula bar clicking, right? You can simply select the cell which you want to edit, and then you can just click on the formula bar, right? And it will get into the edit mode. Double click of left mouse button. So the moment you double click the left mouse button, it will get into the edit mode. And third is a shortcut by pressing F2, or you can just press Fn plus F2 and it will get into the edit mode. Okay, so these three are the options through which you will be able to edit the Excel formulas. All right, so with this we come to the end of our today's video. I hope you have enjoyed, you have learned from the video. If you haven't, I would recommend and request you to please book a one-to-one mentoring session with me and I'll be able to help you with all your doubts. Okay, now the next three topics which are currently pending and we are going to discuss in our next video is about absolute or relative cell reference. Sorry, the spelling is incorrect. So absolute or relative cell references. Okay, second, it is going to be about copying or pasting the formula. And third, it is going to be about formula auditing and debugging. Formula auditing and debugging. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss in our next video, which will be the last video or the third video under lesson 9, and the lesson 9 will get completed. And then we are going to start with the logical formulas. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. Have a great day.